The woman stood frozen at the checkout line, her hands tightening around the edge of the counter as if the floor had shifted beneath her feet. The grocery store hummed with ordinary life, carts rolling, scanners beeping, children asking for candy, but for her, everything blurred into silence. She glanced down at the screen, then at the small pile of groceries she had carefully chosen: bread, rice, milk, eggs, a can of soup, and a few apples. Nothing extra. Nothing indulgent. Just enough to last a few days. She swallowed hard and forced a smile. I must have made a mistake, she said, though she already knew the truth. She'd checked her balance 3 times before coming. She'd put things back twice while walking the aisles, calculating every dollar in her head like a math problem with no correct answer. Behind her, the line grew restless. Someone cleared their throat. Another person checked their phone. She felt heat rise to her cheeks. Embarrassment had a weight to it, heavy and suffocating, pressing down on her chest. Maybe try again, the cashier offered kindly. She nodded, her hands trembling as she slid the card once more. The machine beeped. Declined. Her shoulders sagged. I'll just take the bread and milk, she whispered, already reaching for the divider to separate the rest. You can remove the others. As the cashier began voiding items, each beep felt like a small loss. Rice, gone. Eggs, gone. Apples, gone. She watched them disappear as if pieces of her dignity were being quietly taken away. That was when she felt it. A presence behind her. Calm. Steady. Excuse me, a man's voice said softly. Not rushed. Not annoyed. Please don't do that. She turned, startled. The man behind her looked ordinary, mid-40s maybe, wearing a worn jacket, a baseball cap pulled low, a few gray hairs visible at his temples. No flashy watch. No expensive shoes. Just someone you wouldn't look twice at in a crowd. He met her eyes, and there was something there she hadn't felt in a long time. Not pity. Not curiosity. Just understanding. Ring it all up, he said to the cashier. I've got it. Her breath caught. No, I can't. Yes, you can, he replied gently, already pulling out his wallet. And you will. Tears sprang to her eyes before she could stop them. You don't understand, she said quickly, her voice breaking. I don't want charity. He smiled, small and warm. Neither do I. This isn't charity. The cashier paused, looking between them. It's just help, the man continued. The kind we all need sometimes. The line behind them fell silent. Her name was Elena. 3 months earlier, she had a job she loved at a small dental office. It didn't pay much, but it paid enough. Enough to keep the lights on. Enough to buy groceries without counting every item. Enough to feel safe. Then her mother got sick. The phone call came late one night. Her mother's voice was weak, frightened. A hospital. Tests. A diagnosis that arrived like a storm, sudden and unforgiving. Elena took unpaid leave at first. Then she quit entirely. Family came first. It always had. The savings disappeared faster than she expected. Medical bills didn't wait. Rent didn't pause. Life didn't slow down just because her world had cracked open. She applied everywhere. Restaurants. Retail. Offices. She heard nothing. Or worse, she heard no. And now she stood in a grocery store, deciding between food and pride. The man paid quietly, sliding his card across the counter as if this were the most natural thing in the world. The cashier handed Elena the receipt, smiling softly. Take care, she said. Elena turned to the man, tears finally spilling over. I don't know how to thank you. He shook his head. You don't have to. But I need to, she insisted. He thought for a moment, then nodded. Okay. One day, when you can, do the same for someone else. She held that promise close as she walked out of the store, groceries heavier in her arms but her heart somehow lighter. For weeks, that moment replayed in her mind. She found a part-time job cleaning offices at night. It wasn't glamorous. It was exhausting. But it was honest. She worked while others slept, mopping floors and emptying trash cans, humming softly to keep herself awake. Her mother slowly improved. Treatments helped. Hope returned in small doses. Still, some nights were unbearable. On one of those nights, Elena finished her shift late and stopped by a convenience store for a cheap cup of coffee. As she stood in line, she noticed an elderly man ahead of her counting coins with shaking hands. I'm short, he murmured to the cashier, embarrassed. Just $1. Elena felt something stir inside her. A memory. A promise. She stepped forward and placed a bill on the counter. I've got it. The old man looked at her in surprise. Are you sure? She smiled. Yes. The warmth that spread through her chest was different from relief. It was stronger. Deeper. Months passed. Elena found a better job. Then a better apartment. Her mother came home from the hospital. Life didn't magically become easy, but it became possible again. One afternoon, nearly a year later, Elena found herself back in the same grocery store. This time, her cart was fuller. Not extravagant, but comfortable. As she waited in line, she noticed a young mother ahead of her. The woman clutched a toddler on her hip, dark circles under her eyes. The card machine beeped. Declined. Elena felt her heart tighten. I'll just take these, the young mother said quietly, pointing to a few items. You can put the rest back. Elena stepped forward. Please don't, she said softly. Ring it all up. The woman turned, eyes wide. I can't. Yes, you can, Elena said, smiling through tears. And you will. As she paid, Elena felt something else too. Gratitude. Because kindness, she realized, never ends at the checkout counter. It moves. It grows. It waits quietly for its next chance.